As a fan of history, one of my absolute favorite books is Democracy in America by Alexis de Tocqueville. He was a French philosopher who was sent by his government to study the American prison system, but because it was the 1800s and there was no phones, no Microsoft Teams, he ignored that assignment in a way and took the opportunity to study American culture. And he came away with some incredibly astute observations and predictions about our society. Some of these thoughts were that American individualism would eventually lead to people withdrawing from social life and community. There would be an increasing level of restlessness and angst in American society due to the pursuit of equality, while there's also the presence of inequality. He also thought that ethnic discrimination would persist long after any formalized system of caste or social status was in law, and that democracy could not exist within a system like this. These were shockingly astute observations for a person to be making in the 1830s, but that led me to wonder, what anime speak to our current condition or predicted the future just as this work did? I thought for a minute and realized, what would be better to discuss than Shinsekai Yori? We don't live in a world of magic or psychics, but just as the children in this story did, we live in a world of illusion in a way. I don't mean this in a way where I'm judging anyone's character or anything, but think about all the times you've heard someone say, "Why is nobody talking about insert country? Why has nobody told me about insert topic?" And it's a topic that's been discussed on Reuters and CNN for the past 15 to 20 years. And this isn't an uncommon phenomenon, so I can't just blame it on individuals. Just like the world of Shinsekai Yori, it feels that there are times that we're so intentionally distracted from things that are pretty important to think about. And by the time we gain somewhat of an understanding, it feels like it's far too late for anything to change. By the time the cast of Shinsekai Yori truly realizes the corruption in their world and decide to make a positive change, it feels like so much has happened that it just leaves you speechless. There are quite a few anime that I think hold observations that are and may become increasingly applicable to human life, especially as we explore the frontier of having levels of social and class distinction that didn't even exist 10 years ago. Things like Cyberpunk, Kino's Journey, all sorts of things. But I think Shinsekai Yori is one of the most shocking and probably the worst future that I can think of. Obviously, I don't think magic is just going to appear tomorrow, but who knows what could happen as we explore the frontier of transhumanism. Think about it. People openly talk about designer babies and aren't embarrassed. But in general, I think there's a lot to be said about taking things away from anime that aren't just entertainment, to think about it, to take it in, to use it as a framework to understand and examine your life. But I'm just a TikToker.